For the PowerPoint presentation, this is probably what's going to take you the most time. Your very first slide is going to be a title slide. You're going to want to choose one of the design templates, and you can choose any variation and any color scheme that you prefer. And you're going to want to insert a word art title. And then you're also going to add a picture to this. And for your picture, make sure that you have at least one style applied. So any of these in this gallery are considered to be a style. But if you go into picture effects and you choose any of these effects, you've also applied a style. So they either choosing a style or adding a picture effect, either one counts. Then when you go to your second slide, this should be of your accommodations. Okay, so you want the name of your accommodations in the title, and then you're going to want to include some pictures. And you also need either a hyperlink to the accommodations, or you need an action button that takes you to the website that has the accommodations. So this is an action button, and the way I created that is I used a shape, and you do need to use at least one shape in one of your slides. So I used this bevel shape, kind of engraved the rectangle, and I adjusted the color. And then I clicked on it. I went into Insert, and I chose Action. Okay, and then I changed it to Hyperlink. And the way I got the web address in there, because that address is rather lengthy, what I did was I pulled up the Venetian Resort, and then I highlighted the address, pressed Control and the letter C to copy. And then I went right in here, highlighted that, and pressed Control and V to paste. And that gives me my action button. I did a second slide with amenities for the resort. I added lots of pictures, and then I went to slide 4, which is my first activity. This slide has a little different layout. Slides 2 and 3 used title and content. This slide actually uses 2 content. And in your slideshow, your first and last slide should be title slides. And the ones in between need to be 2 different types. So most of them will probably be title and content, but you do need to use one additional layout. Okay, so this is my second layout. And you'll notice that I did include a button. And for the tour information, I basically brought up the website that had the information of this particular tour, copied the URL, the web address, and went into Insert, chose Action, chose Hyperlink, and this hyperlink actually went to the tour. Then I came down for my next activity. Again, I have a tour information button, and I believe I just copied the other button and changed the text. And then if you go into Edit Hyperlink, you can actually change it that way. Okay, so let me show you this. So if you want your buttons all at the same place, this is a shortcut. You can actually copy the button, paste it on the slide, and this is a button to a web page. So if we right-click, we edit the hyperlink, you can just paste the new hyperlink right in there. And that actually looks wrong. So let me get the right. There it is. Pretty awesome tour. So I'm going to copy that. And we will right click, adding the hyperlink, and there we go. Now I got a hyperlink to that one. So basically copy this button, paste it in here. Have the hyperlink that's going to Hollywood. This one should be going to the Grand Canyon, and it is. Okay, but you can kind of see how you can work this. So basically, you're going to insert the action, choose hyperlink and paste. And then if you want to copy and paste those buttons, you just right-click, edit hyperlink. As far as the restaurant goes, Buddy V's is the one that I chose. And this is actually a link to the online menu. And for those of you who don't know Buddy V, he is the cake boss. He happens to have an Italian restaurant in Vegas. Then we go on to the expense breakdown. And so what I did with this is I pretty much copied and pasted the chart. Okay, so doing that was actually fairly easy. You just select it, Control C to copy. You get rid of that one. And then I just went into paste. Okay, and then I had to just do a little bit of resizing and a little bit of repositioning. Okay, then that brings me to the next slide. For this one, these are actually hyperlinks that go back to your previous slides. So first you add your text, and then you're going to highlight or select the text. Go to Insert, choose Hyperlink. And you need to hyperlink to a place in this document. Now previously, we've been looking at web pages, but this link is going to another slide. So when you choose place in this document, it actually shows you all of your slides. And all you have to do is click on the one you want to go to and click OK. And you've created a link to it. Okay, same with this. So I would highlight this, go to hyperlink, and then I would pick the slide and click OK. So that's basically what you need to do on this slide. And you will notice that every single picture that I've inserted has at least one style applied, because you do need to incorporate that. After your trip summary, you have a closing slide. This should be a title slide. I put an image in the background, but you do not need to do that. If you want to, you can. You would just go to Design, Format Background, and you would choose Picture. And then I actually pulled mine from a file, and I did some picture effects to it. And I think I added some artistic effects to this, but you wouldn't have to do that. You could just keep the plain regular background. Totally up to you. So once you get all of that incorporated into this, then you're going to add one transition to all of your slides. So I chose Ferris wheel. And once you apply that transition to one slide, make sure you click on Apply to All. And you need consistent animation on all of the titles, subtitles, and bullets. So you want to make sure you use the same animation style for the titles, same animation style for subtitles, same animation style for the bullets. So what you can do is select a title, apply the animation, and then you can use that animation painter, Or if you prefer, you can just go right into the slide master and apply the animation that way. Okay, so either way is fine. It just needs to be consistent. All of the images should be animated, and you can see that mine are. And if you want to actually see the animation on your slides, I'm going to click close here. You can open up the animation pane, and you can see that for the title and the body, I actually use the master slide. And then for the individual pictures, I went into each slide and animated them. But you can see it's pulling from the master slide for the title and the body animation. So if we go into the slide master, okay, if I pick the topmost master, it affects pretty much all of them except for title slides. So if you apply your animation to that topmost master, it's going to affect all of your slides. So I applied animation to this, and then I applied it to the bullets. Okay, so you click on that, go into animation, choose whatever animation you want, click on your bullets, you do the same thing there. Okay, and then to get back to your normal view, you can either go to View and Normal, or you can go into your Slide Master and close out of the Master view. Okay, so you can see it's pulling from the master, and then each individual picture was also animated. Okay, so that is pretty much what you need to do for this. And then once you have all of that done, you're going to go ahead and save it, and then you're going to turn it in. And if I was you, I would probably run it from the beginning. But you do want to make sure that your buttons and your links and everything work. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end. What you're going to turn in then is your Word summary, your Excel workbook, and your PowerPoint.